welcome to the shop. It is a beautiful Southern California sunny day. I am down here working in the shop. This is John Hickman with Alpine Motors. Today we're working on the Chevy truck. We're going to change the rack and pinion on it. This one is, the boots are all torn and it's leaking like crazy. And it's just a factory Ford Mustang style. So honestly, it's pretty straightforward to change this thing, but it's one of those where it's cheaper to just buy a new one and put it together than try and rebuild the existing one. This does have some cool powder coated lines on it. We're probably not going to try and reuse those. We'll just use the lines that are on the new unit because it appears they will work. But whoever put this in the truck was absolutely one of those people that I think creates those games where you have to solve a puzzle, because getting this thing out of the truck was a little bit of a crazy deal. But we're going to take all the ends off of this one, put them on the brand new one. I might need some O-rings for these fittings, so we'll get these out, take a look at them, and just start putting this all together, and I'll show you guys what the underside of the truck looks like. And I've got it up on the lift now, so I put the Triumph away and got the truck up on the rack so I could start doing all this. I'll show you guys how this thing was in there. It's pretty wild. The underside of the truck. So you guys have seen the top of this thing. It is a twin turbocharged LS. This thing is pretty badass, and the power steering rack was leaking. And whoever put this together, I think, put the power steering rack in from the top before the motor was in here, and it was it was a lot of work to get it out of here. But I was finally able to do it, and I flushed all the old fluid. It had some pretty nasty old fluid in it, so I flushed all that out and dialed it all in. But now I got to rebuild the new rack that's going to go in here. But you can kind of see just how cool the undercarriage of this thing is. Here, I'll show you guys. The suspension is really heavy A-arm suspension. Everything's all powder coated, and then here's the airbags here, and then the bottom of our LS motor. And the frame is a factory frame, and they've modified the factory frame. And for those of you that don't know what we do, we are a dealership. We sell classics, exotics, hot rods, things like that. And people bring us their cars, and then we go through them and dial them all in and then help them sell them. We're also a build shop, so we build cars as well. But this thing's really cool. When you look at the way they did this, this is, you can't weld to this frame. So everything is bolt-in modular pieces. And you can see, of course, it's a twin turbo LS, so it's got this giant sump system. It's got like an oil cooler system in the back here, and then two-part drive shaft with the carrier here in the middle, and then everything is all bolted together. And then the rear suspension is, I'm getting a lot of backlight, is this trailing arm system, which has these two really long trailing arms that come back. And then the airbags sit on the top right here, so you can see the airbags there. So really heavy rear end, and for this motor and this configuration, this works pretty good. It allows this thing to go all the way to the ground. When you air it down, it completely sits on the ground. But it's a very cool setup. And then this back part of the frame is all custom. They've put the two frames together, and then this is where the C-notch is in the rear of it. And of course, disc brakes front and rear. Just a cool build. I'll show you the outside of it. Hey everybody. Craig, good to see you, buddy. All right. So it's a pretty cool truck. Appreciate you guys joining. We're going to just rebuild a rack and pinion tonight. The old one, I'll show you guys what was happening with it. So the old one was getting all torn up on the ends here, and then it was leaking. And as you know, when this old fluid starts to look like that, It causes problems with seals, and that's exactly what's happened here. And it's cheap enough to just buy a whole new one and put the new one in. But getting this thing out was an absolute pain in the butt. They put it in from the top before the motor was in, and we had to try and figure out how to get it out from the bottom. So not an easy task, but we're going to convert everything over, and then we're ready to do some filming on this thing. So this week we're going to be doing some really cool videos on it, and you guys can check that out. This thing will definitely be doing some burnouts, but LS twin turbo, just a absolute riot to drive this thing. But of course we got to get that damn power steering fixed, because without that we are we would have had a lot of problems. So I'll put you guys in the tripod here. Please excuse the moving around while I put you in place. And we're trying to get all this done. We're going to SEMA in just a couple of, I think it's end of next week or beginning of the week after. So trying to get everything dialed in. But got all my tools laid out. Here's our brand new rack. Let's take a look at this thing. And I'll jump back and forth. It's just me tonight. I don't have Jake with me, so I will do my best to answer your questions while I'm working. But I only have the one camera, so there we go. So there's our new rack, and you can see it's identical to the other one. Hey folks, good to see everybody here. Les, thanks for joining, man. From France, very cool, Les. What kind of cars are you guys building out there in France? I know American Muscle Cars, I've sent, on ones we've sold, I've sent 3 cars to Italy and 1 to Slovenia. Actually, this guy right here, really cool guy, bought a Ford C-Cab from me, and I shipped it to Slovenia. And that guy just loves that thing. Imagine seeing an old Model T C-Cab truck cruising around in Slovenia. So we're gonna just take everything off of this thing, and let's see, we need a 3/4 for these, so we're gonna take these off first. And I'm pretty sure these are gonna need new, yeah, I need new O-rings for the fittings, so I'm gonna have to get some of those. And this one looks like somebody put a rubber O-ring in it. Yep. Let's see what we got. Yeah, we got a rubber O-ring. So rubber O-rings work okay, but I'll show you guys these nylon O-rings with power steering and the pressure you're running. These rubber O-rings just deform and disintegrate. I always try to use either nylon or the correct power steering fittings, so I'm going to have to get some new O-rings for those. All right, let's see. Let's get this stuff opened up. We'll take a look. I'm not going to... So I have a feeling somebody might have used the old O-ring off of the protection caps on that. So I'll get a couple of those. Let's see if we got any comments here. Just left a randomly, just came randomly. I really don't what's going on, but God bless you. Keep growing. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. From India. So we are in the process of rebuilding or converting everything from this power rack and rack and pinion steering over to this new one. The only thing I'm worried about on this is that I may have to swap the hoses, because I think this hose is right in line with part of the frame. So I may end up having to swap the hoses over, but it looks like they're all in the same place. And of course, these are nice and powder coated, so it might be kind of cool. But I'll show you guys the underside of the truck again here in just a minute. But I'm going to have to, once I get this all put back together, I'm going to have to realign the truck, which is normal. But I want to make sure these shafts are the same size. Look at that. Somebody cut it off. Okay. Well, that's exactly why we do this stuff. Check it all out first. Somebody cut the end of the rod off. I'll show you guys what I'm dealing with here. So down here on the end of the rod, they've actually cut a section of it off, and not very cleanly, not very straight. But I'm sure it's because the inside of this heim joint, actually, I wonder how deep that is. Let's see. Let's get a probe and see how deep that is. I don't really know why they did cut that off. So, yeah, it's only about that deep. So, if you tried to thread that on without cutting it off, you'd be almost 2 inches away from where you need to be. So they just cut the end of this off and didn't do it very clean. So we're gonna have to cut this one off. And of course, when we do that, we'll leave this nut on, and that way, when we spin the nut off, we can retain the threads. We do have a thread kit, so I can always clean that up if I need to. But I'm betting the other side is the same way. It's probably cut off as well. So we're going to count the threads, and that way we know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll put it right about there. And we'll mark this. So good evening, everyone. Anybody that's joining new, we are working on the twin turbo LS Chevy truck. I have it on the lift. I finished the Triumph. It is all dialed in and ready to be sold. And this is an LS twin turbo Chevy truck. It is absolutely crazy insane. And the front rack and pinion was leaking like crazy. It was blown out. So we got a new unit, and we're prepping this to go back in. And trying to get this thing out was a nightmare. They put it in before they put the motor in, so we spent a lot of time underneath the truck trying to get that squared away and get this old one out so we can rebuild our new one. So, all right, well, I will give you guys put you back on the rack here, and then continue working away. There you go. If you guys have any questions, just ask. I'll just I'm going to take this other side apart over here. Make sure you guys are centered. There we go. Take this other side apart and see if we have the same cut end on it, and I'm betting we do. Oh, let's see, that's going to be it was 7/8. Yeah. Okay. We're going to count threads on that before I start taking it completely apart. So we had 6 on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on this side. So I'm going to make a little note to myself. There's 10 on the passenger side, 6 on the driver's side. And then I'm going to mark it just so that I know 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So basically, the truck was aligned before. Now that I'm swapping the rack out, it's going to mess up the alignment. So I'm just trying to keep it as close to the settings as possible so that I don't have to completely realign the truck. Or at least I can drive it to the alignment shop. So it has these giant heim joints that go to the front spindles, and then these have a high displacement end on them. These right here basically allow this heim joint to move or articulate additional degrees to give you what you need. And look at that, this side is cut off too. So we're going to have to cut these sides off, and then I'll probably cut it to the same length that it is here. but you can see how poorly they cut this thing. So they cut it about 2 inches in from the thread. So we're going to do the same thing. If anybody has questions, just feel free to ask. We are working on a Chevy truck tonight. This is Alpine Motors. Yeah, you love playing with racks. Good to see you, Ian. Thanks for coming, man. Yeah, Todd, put your money where your mouth is. Very cool. Thanks for joining, guys. All right, so we're going to go 2 inches. So 2 inches. So we're going to go to there, cut it off. And then on this side, same thing, 2 inches. So we're going to cut this one off at 2 inches as well. All right, so that will allow us to put this back in and replace the rack that was there before. So let me know if you guys have any questions. We are a shop. We are a build shop as well as a dealership. So we sell classic cars, all kinds of hot rods, exotic cars, and people bring us their cars that need some love, and we get them all dialed in and fixed up for sale. And we are very particular about what we sell and what we work on. So if you've seen any of our videos, you'll see that we've got quite a collection of vehicles that we work on, and have a lot of fun doing it. There's a thread kit. So we're gonna cut these. So I'll show you guys the truck that we're working on if you haven't seen it before. So LS twin turbo. It is up on the rack right now, and the job tonight is to cut off and fix that. Let's see, what do we got here? The engineers designed them that way for a reason. Yeah. Well, Ian, let's see, I think it's Lyle. So yes, they designed them long for a reason so that they can use them in a multitude of different configurations. In this case, I may actually cut this one a little longer than I've got it marked here because there is more thread inside of this. It's almost it's 2 inches deep. Let's see, get our Indian ruler. So it is 2 inches deep on the inside, so we probably don't need to go as far down as they did, because we really, if we set our nut to here, we could probably cut this off back here at 1 3/4, have additional thread, and still meet the alignment of the front end. So as I'm kind of working through this and thinking about it, I'm glad you mentioned that, and I will absolutely be kind of talking through. I typically will measure quite a few times before I cut anything, and in this case, you get a really good idea. Leave some extra threads, which it's just a steering end, so that much thread is perfectly fine, but leaving a little extra, it's a good idea. It won't hurt anything. So we'll end up with about 1 3/4 past the nut there, and we'll do the same thing on this side. 1 3/4. All right, so we'll leave it a little longer. Very nice suggestion. Any questions at all? Hopefully you guys kind of see what we're working on here. We're just taking everything from the one rack and pinion, converting it to the other. As Ian said, a replacement rack, which he loves. And this is where it goes. Lives in this Chevy truck. And earlier I was saying that they put the rack in before they put the motor in, so it was a lot of almost like one of those puzzles you have to solve, where you got to figure out how to get something out without taking everything apart, and I was able to get it out of there, so that was pretty cool. But heavy duty A-arm front suspension, airbags. This thing sits all the way on the ground when the air is out of it. It is very cool. We just got it up on the rack today. It's pretty long. I'm not gonna lie, it's close to not fitting. I think our rack is only 15 feet long, and or lift, and so it's close, but it fits. Yeah, there's some other cars. It's our 40 Cadillac with a 500 cubic inch Eldorado motor. There's a 37 Ford over here. We've always got something fun in the shop, and then I got the Triumph outside for right now. But lately, I've been working on this Triumph TR250. Redid all the hoses in it and dialed it all in, got it all set up, and then the 56 Chevy is next. It's going to go up on the rack. It's got a transmission leak and a few other mechanical things. I'm going to swap the carburetor on it and dial it in and get it ready to sell. But right now, the Chevy is the vehicle of choice right now. So we are going to cut these arms off and get this thing ready. And I think before I do that, I'm going to finish cleaning up what I was working on under here. And you guys can ask me any questions while I'm working away. Let's see how I can get you in a place where you can see what's going on. There we go. So I need to get all this cleaned up. Thanks for the hearts, man. Really appreciate it, you guys. It means a lot. I'm trying to grow the channel. All you guys are the reason that we've been growing so well. And, you know, my hope is as I do more and more of this and get better at it, I can share with you, you know, how we do things, why we do them the way we do, and just kind of share some of these builds. It's kind of cool. If you build them yourself, you know, it's years and years of work, and so each little piece you put the car, you take it apart and put it together, God, probably a dozen times before you finish the project. And so it makes it a little harder to show you guys the, you know, all the cool stuff on the cars, because, you know, you're putting them together and then take them apart, and then so it gets kind of boring. But with these, I can show you, because the truck's already put together, all the cool stuff on it. And I'm going to plug the light in here so I can see a little better. There we go. That's better. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm going to tilt this up a little for you. See if we can get a better angle on it. Really appreciate the hearts, man. That was awesome. There you go. Now you can see. So we got our A-arms here on each side. And then this heavy-duty cross member here is just soaked in power steering fluid. When this thing blew out, the owner had a tiny leak when he brought it in. And of course, as it always goes, once we got it in the shop, the leak completely broke, or the line completely, or the seals completely broke, and we had a mess. So we put it up, got to work. So they did a really nice job. Everything's powder coated, and you know, I can't imagine how many times they took this thing apart, because the suspension on it is just incredible in the back, and to be able to get a truck to go all the way to the ground, it's not an easy task. And this thing drives really nice, handles the power well, and it goes all the way to the ground when you lower the airbags down, which I have a video we'll put out. We had to do some repairs to the airbag system on it so that it wouldn't leak down, but we finished that last night. So let's see, any questions? Oh, Jay Developer, good to see you, buddy. Here, glad you could join. Craig is awesome. If you guys, both these guys, if you're into cars, go check out their pages. They got some cool stuff, and it is really neat. Let's see, what do we got? Weather forecast for the car, and how much you want for the four-wheeler in the background. Oh, the little four-wheeler. I'll show that to you. So that was my daughter's little four-wheeler, and it's a Yamaha 50. Actually, I think it's an 80. Let me go over there. I'll show you guys. Sorry. It is a Yamaha 80 shaft driven, and when I got it, it just needed lots of service, and so I dialed it all in. There we go. And so she was, and now she's 16. Of course, I got her a car, but this was her Yamaha to ride, and it's really clean. They're neat little bikes, but it is for sale. If you're in San Diego, Yeah, Ian knows these things are just killer little bikes. I can ride it, which says a lot considering I'm a little on the larger side. But um, but yeah, if you got anybody's in the California area, this thing will be for sale. But it is mint. I've gone through everything on it, and they're fun. But all right, so let's see. I'll show you guys the motor again, and then get back to work again. And of course, this thing, our clients love these giant wheels, and we do as well. And this thing does not disappoint with these wheels, but it is a killer LS twin turbo. This thing is so fun to drive. I will admit, I put a bunch of power steering fluid in it and drove it the other day, um, because I wanted to before I tore it apart. Mostly because I wanted to make sure I knew how it drove and all the little idiosyncrasies on it before I tore it apart. Because, as you guys know, once you start tearing a car apart, put it back together, uh, if you don't know if there's something wrong, then once you put it back together, you got to try and figure out, did you do it or was it there before? So I like to drive the cars, and of course it's a great excuse. We had a Ferrari Dino in the shop the other day, and the Dino owner, wonderful guy, uh, wants me to do some work on it, so it's coming in a month. It'll come in December, and I get to drive that around, which that little six-cylinder in those Ferrari Dinos is a riot. They are fun little cars. Worked on a lot of them, and really enjoy them. All right, so we're just kind of cleaning up all of the old power steering fluid. And any of you guys that wrench, I've got one of these giant floor mats, and I will tell you, and Craig, you probably have one of these things. It saves the floor on my shop at least once once a week. I mean, this thing, when I pulled it down and all the power steering fluid started pouring out of it, this big giant rubber mat was a godsend. So, all right. So we're back to, I'm going to probably set up and cut this in a couple minutes, but I only had you guys set up for half an hour today. So let's see. Heck no, my shop floor shows the battles. I hear you, buddy. Yeah, I've got one of these, and I love this thing. I bought several of them at SEMA last year, and I think this one's like Auto Guard, I think is the company. And so I use the snot out of it, and then whenever we have a new car come in, I clean it, and then start all over again. But yeah, Craig, the other side of my shop over there is a filthy mess. But anyway, all right. So I had you guys set up for half an hour tonight. I will probably go off camera and cut these and then share it with you tomorrow. I'll do a video, but basically we're swapping everything from the old rack that was leaking. The ends of it are completely blown out on both sides, and I need some fittings. Actually, I need O-rings. These O-rings are not going to work for this, so I need to get some new O-rings. But one of you guys had the idea of cutting this off longer than they had here, because they did a terrible job cutting it off. Plus, they kind of cut it short. So we're going to add another 2 inches of thread on each side. That'll still give us enough room to adjust these in, because we've easily got enough. Once that's cut off, we'll still have another 3/4 of an inch worth of adjustment, which is all we need, because this rack was already in the car. We know it fits perfectly and it's identical. So anyway, let's see, what do we got? Really random question: which car is your favorite? It's a really great question. So if we're talking about classic cars, I do really enjoy the 70s muscle cars. So I've got a 67 Mustang up top. I built a 67 Eleanor clone with a 400 cubic inch supercharged big block, and that car was just insane. It was a Super Snake, sold at Barrett Jackson. I think if you look at the profile, there's a picture of it. But loved that car. Loved the combination of the new engineering in the suspension. I did cantilever rear suspension, coilovers mounted sideways, and then fully new front end with coilovers that were mounted. Took out the old strut tower brace system and did it the right way. I really enjoy those. I also, you guys know, I love Cobras. I've had multiple Cobras. Always enjoy them. Fun car. You can throw it around, get crazy with it. Newer cars, I've really learned to enjoy some of the European Italian cars, the Lamborghinis, Ferraris. The problem with them is they're really hard to work on. So I also love the American Muscle, the GT500, the 2022 that we had with the Predator motor. That thing was insane. Love driving that car. Incredible horsepower, and it had enough controls in it to keep the average driver out of trouble, but enough that I could turn off and really have some fun with it. So I hope that helps. I love the classics and muscle cars, and then the exotics, and then I do enjoy the classic exotics, the Ferraris, Maseratis. The problem with those cars is that they're old, and while they were engineered for their age, they weren't engineered to be a long driving car. So a lot of things happen and they break a lot. And so you're constantly working on them. But great question. Appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see what else. I think that's it. See, when are you going to finish my boat? That's in the back corner. Yeah, Craig. Actually, the boat's done. Everything is finished on it, and I've got to finish the videos. I got two more videos to finish, but I redid. So for you guys that don't know, new boats, of course, are really expensive. So we did a series on this boat. We picked it up. It is a an older twin engine jet boat. So it has two supercharged jet ski motors in it, and it's 21 feet. Really cool boat. Sea-Doo made these with this wakeboard tower and everything, but they have a fully electronic dash system in them, so I can see the depth. I can see all the controls. It has wake ballast tanks in it, all kinds of cool stuff. But those screens delaminate, and so people don't buy these things because the screens delaminate. And I found a guy in Florida that rebuilds them. So we took this boat completely apart, redid everything on it, redid the tower, new speakers, redid all the interior. So I did like a black trim. You can see all my towels in there, but a red and black trim, and then made this console for the throttle on the other side, and then did a red and black and white trim on the seats. Very similar to the way it would have been originally, but just added a little more dimension to it. And it turned out really cool. So all done in this boat, I only have $23,000, and the equivalent of this boat in new boats would be in the $50,000 range. So the idea was, let's build a boat that is economical, you can have a hell of a lot of fun with, and we take it down to the river, and you can see I was just out not too long ago. I haven't cleaned it since I had it out last. But with the jet boat engines, you can just have a blast with this thing and not worry about shallow water. So where all my prop friends and friends with their wakeboard boats, if the water is low, they'll hit, and I can go into I think my draft is 11 inches, so if it's just under a foot deep, I can get through it, which is pretty amazing for a boat of this size. But right now it's a workbench. But yeah, Craig, it is fun, and the last thing I got to do is I'm gonna teach you guys how to replace stickers. So it's kind of like wrapping a car, but I've done the bottom one, and now I need to do the top one. And I won't lie, I did the bottom one on purpose myself off camera so I could figure out how to do it, and then teach you guys. But I've already replaced these stickers here, and then this one doesn't exist anymore. So I actually took a different model and cut the sticker up to be able to replace that one. But other than that, everything else I was able to use off of other models of a similar boat. So very cool. But well, there's 36 of you in here, guys. It is amazing. What a great car community. I try to bring you guys really cool videos of cars that I see or work on or sell. Sometimes clients don't let me advertise the cars or show them on YouTube. But when I can, I try to make sure you guys get a chance to see them. So I'll keep doing that. And I appreciate all the incredible support. You know, Craig, J Developer, you know, everybody that's on here. You guys are awesome. Check out the rest of our videos. Check out our page. It's kind of cool. Trying to get better. I just hired another young videographer to help me. So he's going to be helping me put together some driving videos and some cool walk around videos, things like that. And then in 2 weeks we'll be live at SEMA. So we'll be there. It's just going to be me and a tripod, but I will do my best to show you guys around and you know, kind of give you the inside of what SEMA's about. And if you guys have never been there, it's in Las Vegas. It is basically a convention for everything automotive, and the automotive enthusiasts, the companies bring these amazing builds. This truck actually was supposed to be at SEMA, and the owner decided he didn't want it there, and so it's going to be sold. But but we're going to walk around, show you all the great cars, and then tell you how you guys can get in. Because if you've ever wanted to go to SEMA, I am going to teach you how you can get into SEMA, even if you're not in the car industry. So looks like we got somebody from Scotland. Very cool. Good to see you. Thank you. Appreciate it. You guys don't have any of them here, but we do have nice big cars and fast cars. Yes, you do. And actually, there is a builder there in the UK by the name of Matt Armstrong, who I met about 4 years ago. And Matt is actually the one that convinced me to start doing videos. So you guys out there in the UK, he does a lot of cars that are those crashed cars that he rebuilds. So please, you know, go check out his stuff. He builds like he calls them crash damaged cars, and they're Lamborghinis, Ferraris, all kinds of really cool stuff. But Matt's a really neat guy, and his personality that you see on camera is exactly the way Matt is. He's a cool dude. But all right, so I'm gonna end this here pretty quick. Yep, Matt Armstrong. There you go. Good deal, Craig. Good dude. And somewhere around here, I have a little note from him. I sent him a note. I met him at SEMA, sent him a note, told him it was great to meet him, and he encouraged me to start doing videos and keep going, and so I did. But anyway, you guys have a great night. Craig, thanks for joining, buddy. Love all your stuff. Your channel is growing like crazy. I love it. There is the LS motor on this thing. It is so fun. I can't wait to share the videos with you guys and get it all dialed in. But right now, I am going to set up all my stuff outside and cut this thing off. And I'm probably going to wrap it in plastic before I do that, which will be kind of boring. But y'all have a wonderful Sunday evening, and thanks for joining. Check out the page, and we'll keep building and keep sharing with you guys as much as we can. And should be a lot of fun. But have a wonderful Sunday. All right, everybody. Take care.